Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Yeah. Society working group, which we have a statement to issue to. But before we start that, amen. May we have a we're all proud of. And that's the reason why we are having this press conference. As civil society organizations, our first society organization with me on the the legal group of the Auditor General and touch on democracy with law. On September 15th, we are reminded that democratic economy is not a but fundamental. The only on that day, Gambia's democracy is young and fragile. For over 2 decades, Gambians under the weight of dictatorship. In 2016, it was the courage of ordinary citizens, women and men, young and old, that lawfully president is now
violation of the Constitution and the National Audit Office Act, the President has unlawfully and forcefully removed the Auditor General, the head of one of the Gambia's most vital independent accountability institutions. This illegal act represents not only a direct assault on democracy and the rule of law, but also an attack on the sovereignty of citizens who exercise their constitutional rights to free expression and peaceful assembly. This is not a mistake. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a deliberate and calculated assault on accountability, transparency, and democratic governance. Why this removal is illegal? The legal conditions governing the removal of the Auditor General are clear and unambiguous. Under the 1997 Constitution and the NAO Act of 2015, valid grounds for removal as enshrined in the NAO Act of 2015 are as follows. Number one, completion of a fixed tenure of 9 years. Number two, voluntary resignation. Number three, attaining the mandatory retirement age. Number four, proven cases of incapacity, misconduct, or incompetence as determined by either a medical board or a tribunal established by the President. None of these legal conditions has been met. Instead, the President has chosen to act outside the law, as though the Gambia were his private estate. This is nothing short of a constitutional coup, where the executive hijacks independent institutions and subverts democratic checks and balances. Why this matters to every Gambian? If this unlawful action is allowed to stand, no institution or official will be safe. Not today. Today it is the Auditor General. Tomorrow it could be the Ombudsman, the Independent Electoral Commission, IEC, the Chief Justice, the Chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, or the Speaker of the National Assembly. When independent oversight bodies are undermined, corruption flourishes, human rights protections erode, and the nation slides back into autocracy. Our demands for the protection of democracy and the rule of law, we make the following urgent demands. Number one, immediate reinstatement. The Auditor General must be reinstated without delay to complete the lawful 9-year tenure. Number two, lawful process for removal. Should the President seek removal, it must be done strictly according to the Constitution and NAO Act by convening a medical board or a tribunal as required by law. Number three, end intimidation and harassment. The Gambia Police Force must cease all unlawful actions against the Auditor General and any other citizen exercising their constitutional rights. Their duty is to protect the Republic, not serve as enforcers of illegal executive orders. Our commitment to defend democracy. We will not relent. We will not allow the sacrifices of April 10th, 11th students, Dada Haidara, Solo Sanding, and countless other fallen heroes and heroines to be in vain. We will not surrender our hard-won freedoms to creeping autocracy. We will resist using every lawful and peaceful means until the Auditor General is reinstated, due process is respected, and the laws of the Gambia prevail over the whims of individuals. On this International Day of Democracy, September 15th, let it be known, democracy is not a gift from leaders to the people. It is the birthright of the people, defended by their courage and secured by their laws. The Gambian people will defend democracy for the Gambia, our homeland. This is a joint statement by Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency, the National Youth Parliament, Activista de Gambia, Team Gomsa Bopa, Solo Sandeng Foundation, Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, Beikanyang, Fantanka, Movement for Social Justice, Think Young Women, Music for Change, and Charter 70. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that statement, Lamin Deba. That statement you just had read is countersigned by 13 civil society organizations, which goes to show you the weight that is added to this and how civil society is speaking together. We will have another the statement read. You can just swap with him so that we don't need to move the mics around. We will have another statement read. These are very serious and salient issues that are happening in the country right now. Very serious and salient issues. We've even seen, even the National Assembly has put out, a matter of the day. All right? And as we see, this thing might even go through a legal process. All of this is going to cost the Gambian taxpayers a lot of money, when already we have so many things to deal with. This could all be addressed if the president does the needful, does the rightful. So we will have the statement. Ansumana Kamara from Activista, he is one of the 13 civil society organizations that have signed this statement. And ladies and gentlemen, I now hand you over to Ansumana Kamara from Activista, who will deliver the statement in Mandinka.
Thank you very much, Yosef. Ngamobe kontong itola na media house sol kontong minul kafutan fe jam promuka jako ngana kuma kan funtinde na balambaya anin na niukuya kola miyalanko abetama kan yimbanko kanja tembe diamu kan to mo Ansumana Kamara leti bedo kola daminto wala Activista di Gambia de wol mu kafol leti minul kafuta kafol kam mintata fo kafutan nen saba kaje ko nga funti kadiamu kola miyalanko abekire yimbanko kanja kana ni kuya e tandi bawo be min kono bi mo kulete mi yalon ko dolbe le keleta ko la kom futata jambi woton dolbe min kele kaaje ko kayro nin ten ko sabata nyim banko kanjam kaaje ko luwate kuti mi yalon ko wole be kelantaram bulodi ning mo killing wala mo dantang lafta pour mo kaw fundinde kaaje ko ka tinya pour mi dam mala kunna nafa wala dam mala nafa wonyanda ka ken tolla lodu lalete kaaje ko ngaw ko wol bay woto nin kumu minne ya sabu ka benjam bi prom kanyum press conference command aseke non ta read la directly baru kuma dantang funtinde mi yalon ko di bay wala read nin angale kamala wol be kala kuti mi yalon ko be funtinde la demanding na statement no kono jam wala mu pour mu kayitandiro ko Gambian be nyimmen kono wala mu democracy di wala mu maral nyaate be min kono bi mu fenneti aseke no Gambia se bindiya no akonole bawo sanji sey ko manto kata fo sanji tan ko manto be tajirente amaralo min kono jang aketa kuti mi yalon ko banku jamaay bala fa soto Gambia civil society organizational musul kewolu dindin keba e bulita pour mu kaje ko e kafu nyoma ko tajirente ya bay nyim banku kanja adu momin nata nafa soto bayro nyin kono wala keta banko la nyaton koti excellency president Adama Barrow barna ni ku ya kan ate president kilon nata ke mo kilin to mi yalon ko ntol binga kelo ke ko min kamma kaje ko maral kendo e soto kaje ken na luwa ta ko anyanta kata nyame ay bulamol kono mi yalon ko ado foundation on inti nyanka o keta kuti mi yalon ko ay si jambi bawo min keta surtout ka auditor general ka diya kuyato wulindi ala sirango kan ayatara ko mimbe safren na banko la luwa bu ko kono min keta na 1997 constitution oti anin nim flan jambala national audit act min fundindi wala NO act 2015 wol keta kuti mi yalon ko ala bondiro nin silo manta adun nim flan jam fanam bala nyapin kan min ka ke funding kel kan ka kutilim balol tilila ke bunninti aga so la ni findira purum kela balamba ya itandi ayatara ko na luwa bugo ko na be safarin je ko moli nyanto soto purum kela ni ko yani la balamba ya itandi ka policeol kidindi funding ke wol kan ka tiaga so fay ka miyalon ko amada dulalon wol dol keta kuti miyalon ko na statement o ya fundinde adu lafta purum ka itandi bankola dingol la ko anim mol minul be banta minul ben jibe kan ka itandi la ko nyimo kuti miyalon ko in civil society organization o ya bayle kadu nga carte o faymen na 2016 kajo ko mansa kunda fale ngoyeke ani mimbe kerim bi ni mo kuti ibajala ko wol fatakale to mandi jama se nyinen karo ke muneya tinna ndol nga mira ko auditor general ye min bondi ka dia ko yato wulindi ala place o kan muneya tinna ndol nga mira ko ala bondiro ne silo manda sartol minul be safarin na loi bu ko kono min gada 1997 constitution oti anim min be safere national audit office la act kono wolom wila maralam buloti ifanan kan mi jus kaje ko ibe la do ko kelano nyaadi le atare madwa tinya ko pour muka bondiro ke surtout auditor general la sahre dantam bije minul yalon ko be saferin adun mi kulade mi yanon ka mantare kilis kala so kono adun bondiro nyin kata nyami wona ta hitandi ko bondiro nyin manke ko keku sarti folo e mingi tandi wala muko min ayatara ko inyanta pour muka bondiro ke o palaso min be sirin je anyanta ka tarle amari sanji kononto amari nyanta pour muka wala saf ni audit act ni ba ka fa no completion of a fixed tenure of 9 years adu ni auditor general min dia ko yato wulindi ala tenure ma wo si folo kile fulan jangoy min tandi wala ko voluntary resignation wala mu ning afan wulita ko mbedo ko minna nda kala no kotenke ay safiro ke ko ay fonyo ndol ngam min moy media to anin ngam min moy government official la minul ya media la interview grant wala mko iko ye wala tumi ko atata le fo anin president sonta a palaso nyinta bare luwa bugo ko no ko nin amari resigned ado nyimma fo ko ay fonyo itol ko le ko asondale ay tandi president ko nga palaso nyin tay ado ni ko mol fango jibe wali do man nimba ko mol nyin kono sabanjango mi tandi wala ko ako attaining the mandatory retirement age bawon tol be ngalon ko ni be man sakunda do ko la sanjo le bije ni mari futata sanjo min la do ko manyana katambe no wo sanjo so luwa tandi ko ning atara ko amari futata wo sanjo la ate tambila no hanning atara ko sayin amala sanji kono do bang naftaro sanjo la mari nyanda ka jile nani njangoy min tandi wolem ko ning ayatara ko amari inata min korsala koto bari fana wo medical board le nyanta ka prumu ka wo confirm ko ning asekeno killing asondo mo mantara bala asekeno londo lukari mo mantara bulu prum ka ning do ko nyin sambano wala kisikisiro dol ke menul yalon ko asekeno molle sita prum kala ko kisikisi nata realize ko abe do ko samba ka nyami mantara samba kan wo nyamo kisikisiro nata recommendation ol di ko anyanda la prum ka bo pala so nyinto woron tol nga nyin kuma nano min be fo jamba wole be safirin na luwa bu ko kono anding bu ko miye nyin national audit mara wol be keta kuti mi yalon ko masakunda man silotani wala ya sabun tol na miro to wala ko president anin mol minul kafta nyola prum ka audit auditor general la place o nyim busi ala ka dia ko yato wulindi imam banko la loi bu ko non wala yatin nanga balamba ya itandi be kiliro fanan kala president la pour mu kaje ko kanindiro dol kala kanindiro minul yalon ko be demanding folaje nyaato demande bari fanan mune yatin nan dol nga nyum ko kuma yandi pour mu ka dunya be kala mutandi ko luwa mu luwaleti adu luwa ning ayatara ko bondirobe kala surtout palaso la miyalon ko wala ka kisi roke mansa kundala taram bulo la beteke bankola nafulo ka dum mintole moja malle na bankola nafulo tinya pour mu kaje ko ye safero ke itandiro ke gambia dingol la anim mansa kundala ka foy kon don ngamra ko alsenyin simfa nyaale tano ko corruption o be nyundula karol al nyantale pour mu ka bay aw ko man don dolbe nga kalamta ko woketa kuti jang mi yalon ko adiyamo siara nyim banko kan jambal GPA la isu fundita jan National Audit Office le ares IEC isu fundita je investigation ol keta mansa kunda mol kela namul jo daminul to pour mu kaje ko yela do ko ka nyam o taxpayers la money ka dun damin do tiñarol ka National Audit ñing auditor general min bond wala nang ala mol wulita pour mu kaje ko dunia be ya kalam dako ndol kan na fulo min jo pour mu na banko la jirwa kolu kaje ko kolyami be ñim banko kan pour mu ay bo ñin adala mol ning ala office la mol wulita pour mu kaje ko banko dingol be wo kalamda pour mu falingo yake bata membe funding ke wol kan bata membe musol kan bata membe gambe dingol be kan pour mu ay bo ike ibagala ministry aka mallafi forcé to duwaye min fo ngata ni wole ko wota kera adum njaben kama min kata nyin kan dol nga min ko rasi wala mu ko ning dam mankala ase keno nin nyin dongo tambita isen ombudsman la office o mano la kile adu wo fana mo office ko mayari mbalet fulan jango iso IEC la office o mano la min kata independent electoral commission la office o di minul marta carte fa yo kunyala bawo next year nka dum election yala kono mimbe kala sinin sama ni kanata nyin dongola mo malo fulan jango saban jango ise hane chief justice fango manole bawo ning ayatara ko mol la nyantul tinyata kiti bungol katara je damento yalon ko mol kata pour mu kaje ko yenna nyanto murundina wose manole hani speaker of the National Assembly asake ki moti mi yalon ko afana se baran bulano nyin number ko kono ning ayatara ko na bankola taram bulo ka fundin na luwa bu ko kono min diata moliye mi yetol fevo ila kunna nafa ko damaji be pour mu kaje ko ka mol bondi palaso to aya tara ko sartol be safade sarto koyringol ko wala nyanta pour mu kawol funde nganin jiko fanan soto ko asekeno ning atambita wola hani National Human Rights Commission la chairmano isa mano le pour mu ka bonda la palaso bawo bi ngeen na nyanto tinya nse borno NHRC le nga foy ko nyinne be kere lefta pour mu ale jibero kal woto ning atada ko National Audit mano is National Assembly la speaker mano is ombudsman sa office manual is independent electoral commission o manual is National Human Rights Commission fana manual wala yatinna bawon tol ko be do ko minna wala mo pour mu kake banko dingol nyaati kake banko dingol kangoti kake mol kangoti minul yalon ko man platform mo so pour mu ka diam ka fundi ka nyita ndi Gambia dingol la ko nyinno mo kolti minul yalon ko avec kiri lafta pour mu ka kanindir dantan neke adum be lafela pour mu mansa kunda president baro ni la mol alsi la moy mol la bat follow me kanindir follow min kala wala mu the immediate reinstatement of the Auditor General ko nyin ka futani sabo mi yin statement o sign ka safe ka sign na kanindir follow min ke wala mu ise Auditor General ya murundi ala palaso to sign kon tol fanan na nyanto lemu pour mu ka kanindiro ke nyanto bu ka dane ka kaninne wala ya be kanindiro ke ka nyina kile ko the immediate reinstatement of the Auditor General fulanjang ning ayatara ko abeto pour mu ka Auditor General bondi ba fole inila moliye ani mol minul ke ya mari pour ye murun yeta bukol kono jibe kabon 1997 constitution o kono kata for the NAO Act 2015 ko abe safarin ne ko sarto le biye nyanda kaw binul ta yewo sarto jibe kilinna wo kilinna ni ba bondila ya bondi nin silo la bara nyaki ngama manya na ka boni wala because mbota wala kono adun de murla wo kono sabanjango lafta pour mo ka min kanin wala mu into intimidation and harassment fo auditor general office lembang ka polisol kije iningi la tiya gasol aningi la jorang bal minul yalon ko pour mo ka mol kijo farande ka diya ko yato wulindi ala palaso kan ka fay ko ibe bola jile diya ko ya wonyande ke kulet mi yalon ka nyanda dannale anim fana nim fonni kewol funtita ka polisol wulindi kamma kata ke bundin tiya gasola ke arrest ningi pareta ye samba code ka fay ko be belale ningi parete ka fay ko nyim belo la taymo ko ne manyana ka fundi pour la balam baya tandi a tara na banko la loi bu ko le ko mo be right so to peaceful assembly ko be nyanda ke kuti mi yalon ko na kanendiro kala pour mu daye kala with immediate effect lafta pour mu kan na diamo kuntuni ndamin to la wala mo mba ay tandila banko dingol la ko ntol na lodula min bi wala mo kaje ko Gambia dingol la daha be damin adung mbenyin do ko minna hanin ayatara ko the civil society be arrest ndol benna do ko minna futa bondila futa stop la we are very much committed to this work that we are doing because mbake kam fangolle mbake kan bingolle mbake kan nanyolle ku jama be nyim banko ka jam yalo ngon dol ngamira ko wol nyande ke kuti pour mo masa kunda nyande ke nyaatilin damin dola dina kela energy direct towards ka mul dia ko yawol ngila palasol kam ko lambe nyim banko kan jam be nga jele masa kunda la lon kan nyande ke wol di pour mo e bank dina ka fonnin ke wol tilimbal ya ke samba ke bondi police station kilin ke sounded la dol do ke bondi ke samba mile 2 ke samba nam pour ke kitindi ni pare de ko ngal bulale ini go kija faro ni silang katara sirin suokon pare content solution not because ndalbe do ko min uta danna adon kuta bola ala barka ba
Baraka Bake, thank you so much for that wonderful statement in Mandinka. Very, very well delivered. Sorry about that. But we are going to now deliver the last statement before we open up to the members of the press. So you people will also have the chance to, ask questions. But it's very important for us to highlight a few things. We've highlighted our commitment. What drives this commitment? In our statement, you hear people who have children making reference to April 2000. Yes, those children inspire us because they were standing for justice. As young as they were, we are inspired by the likes of Solo Senden, who fought hard for us to get this democracy which we have. And in our statement, one of the biggest benefactors is the current head of state, who has been in power since the change. Was this what was promised to us? Us as Gambians, this matters to all of us. We all have a responsibility. Starting from the head of state to the citizen, to that baby that was born just today. They all have a responsibility. And we have a responsibility to the generation yet to come. This should drive us. Our standing here together, coming together as one, is what we hope should drive the rest of the citizens to make sure that we resist. We will not relent and we will continue to resist. So we will have the statement read out in Wolof from Fantasane. Fantasane is working with the National Youth Parliament, NYP, who were here in their office and able to deliver this statement. Fanta, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum mbolo mi media bi ma leen di nuyu bu baaxa ba di rafetlu sen taxaway tay parce que biñ leen oyé dem rek la won té tay gis nañ ne fi mu ngi fess ak caméra pour ngeen mëna génné luy luñ fay jotta waxtané tay suma olof nak setul bu baax té luñ fi jotta way ci sossé ak anglais bari na torop waye dina ko jéma gatal su ko défé ñi lak olof ñu mëna déggal lan lañ fi jotta wax comme suma naataangoo ni ñu ko waxee rek gis nañ ne fan yi niw passé gis nañ ne président Adama Barrow maanaam government bi génnee neen kii xam ne si place wala place liggéeykaayam mooy kii ñoo ooyee di auditor général ku liggéeyam auditor général bi nag liggéeyam mooy lan mooy gis ne government bi suñ jëlee suñ xaalis yi maanaam suñ fayee suñ lempo ba pare suñ taxi gis ne xaalis bi government dañ leen jox liggéey mooy ne ñu jël xaalis bi ñu dugal ko foo xam ne dinañu njëriñ ñun doomi réew mi waaye gis nañ ne président yi government suñ spendee xaalis bi office of the auditor general ñooy delluwaat seetuwaat na xaalis bi fi ñu leen sant ñu dugal ko na dugal nañ ko fa ndax mu ñoo njëriñ ñun doomi réew mi so loolu mooy liggéey National Audit Office te ki ñoo wax nii mooy auditor général lu ñoo wax mooy government bi président bi amul drive pour génnee ko si office am waaye gis nañ ne fan yi ñuy passé président bi génnee na kii ñoo ay auditor général bi si office am amul rek si génnee ko dem na ba jël police yi yóbbu leen auditor office of the auditor général ñu make sure ñu génnee auditor bi by force génne ko si office am pour teg fa keneen lii nekk loo xamante ne naxari na waa office boobu noonu ñu faa liggéey naxari na doomi réew mi tamit ñun ñi civil society foog naa loolu moo waral suñ teewaay te parce que dafa nekk loo xam ne neexuñu te daf ñu naxari lan moo tax nag mu naxari ñu parce que teguwut si yoon te Gambia dafa nekk réew moo xamante ne loi moo sarta ay sarta la ñoo doxee loi dëkki loi la soo dangaa gis ne président bi koo xamante ne moom moo nekk di number 1 person koo xam ne moo war a protect loi bi mooy ni koo xam ne dafa war a gestu loi bi kooku moo nekk ni koo xam ne tey mu ngi koo yaaxa mu nekk loo xam ne moo tax ñu génn fii tey pour wone suñ naxar as civil society organisations but as comme dëkk bi si boppam emut si génnee auditor général bi rek gis nañ ne buñ yóbboo foofu demee police yi buñ demee office yi auditor général indi attaque nañ ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk ndawi réew mi ñooñu nag demuñ fa pour protest dañ demoon foofu noonu pour deliver press statement comme ni ñu nekk def nii tey waaye gis nañ leen ne dañ leen arrest am na ñoo xam ne dañ leen tiyagas am na ñoo xam ne dañ leen dóor yóbbu arrest leen yóbbu leen si prison bi am na ñoo xam ne dañ dem koot sax déema ñu béel leen waat lii nekk na loo xam ne teguwut si yoon te ñu ko naxarlu lool as civil society organisations lan moo tax ñu gëm ne président bi lu mu def teguwut si yoon parce que auditor général bi soo koo génnee dafa am sarta yu loi bi teg according to suñ constitution bi mooy loi buy doxal Gambia ak NAO Act of 2015 loi bi nag lan la wax mooy auditor général bi soo koo génnee sarta bu njëkk si lii tax nga war koo génnee completion of a fixed term of 9 years mooy juróom ak ñeenti at la war a toog si office boobu noonu pour nga mun koo génnee loolu su demee ba liggéey ba mut loolu rek war nga koo mun a génnee mu kenn nga teg fa keneen ñaareelu sarta bi nag mooy lan mooy voluntary resignation mooy ne auditor général bi si boppam su demee mu gis ne man de mënatumaa liggéey parce que reasons personnel mooy ne bëgg naa bàyyi liggéey parce que wéruma o dama am yeneen soxla mun naa binda office of the president ne man de man maa bëgg a bàyyi liggéey sarta bu ñetteel bi mooy lan attainment of a mandatory retirement age maanaam su demee ba gis ne moom parce que public servant mu nekk sooy liggéey si government bi nguur bi dangaa gis ne soo amee 65 years dangaa gis ne retirement age la time boobu war nga mun a bàyyi liggéey loi bi may na yoon pour nga bàyyi liggéey beneen sarta bi si tegu mooy proven case of incapacity misconduct or incompetence maanaam auditor général soo gisee ne mu ngee luubal office boobu noonu wala ngaa gis ne mu ngee use office bi pour personnel génna ba personnel soxlaam loolu mun naa nekk reason buy tax mun naa nekk lan mooy tax nga war koo mun a génne parce que lim nekk di def teguwut si yoon sarta yooyu la loi bi tegal te yooyu sax su fekkee fekkee sarta yooyu moo tax yaa koo génnee benn su fekkee xel bi dem na wala disease of the mind maanaam su auditor général su demee ba tollu foo xamante ni xel bi demeetut noonu mënut a liggéey condition yooyu soo gisee soo ko waree mën a génnee si loolu dangaa set up a tribunal wala a medical board bi ñooy lan ñooy ay docteurs yi ngaa jël pour ñu assess situation am mooy ne ñu xool ko seetuwaat ko seet ndax dëgg-dëgg àndut ak sagoom pour mun a continuer liggéey bi yooyu ñooy sarta yu tax nga war a mun a am pour génnee auditor général bi te président bi nu mu ko defee ñun à civil society gis nañ ne àndut ak yoon àndut ak dëgg te nu mu ko defee dafa ñaaw our demands mooy ne ñun civil society lañ nekk di laaj ci président bi mu def mooy mu make sure mu delloo auditor général bi place am parce que nu mu ko defee teguwut si yoon na ko delloo si place am mu liggéey mu continue liggéeyam ñaareel bi lawful process of removal su fekkee ne bu gën a koo génnee ñu ngi koo advice ne mu seet sarta yi luñ teg mooy constitution ak NAO ak lu mu wax mu make sure mu def loolu noonu su ko defee coow du am waaye fekk mu ngi koo defee neneen rek civil society dinañ am lu ñëw parce que nu mu amee droit pour seetu wala make sure constitution bi ñu ngi koo toppal ñun tam civil society ñun as citizens doomi réew mi noonu lañ amee ñun tam right boobu noonu so ñun ñi ko advice tamit to end intimidation and harassment ñu bàyyi ndaw yi ñoo toroxal di leen fekk si yoon yi di leen dóor di leen arrest parce que tegul si yoon te neexut si xol parce que soo leen arresté nga yóbbu leen mile two wala nga yóbbu leen court nga dem nga béel leen nga bàyyi leen seen kër yi ñu ngi toog foofu ak tiitaange xamuñ lan mooy xew next so dangaa gis ne sa own dëkka yaa ngi toog foofu waaye ñemeetuloo te loolu neexut si xol parce que ku nekk right bu président mi am ku dëkk si réew mi loolu la right bu nekk every citizen am pour toog si biir réew mi su weesoo loolu tamit ñu ngi fàttali réew mi ne président bi lu mu def nii lu óoradi la te suñ si taxaw depuis léegi ñu bàyyi ko mu jàlla élection ak ngay ñëw te président bi comme que def na bii mu sax ko te kenn defu si dara am na fit bi ak sañ-sañ mu toll nii mu dem attaque office of the ombudsman parce que loolu independent institution la moom tamit comme NAO ni mel benn ñaar IEC bi ñeme na faa dem attaque ne dafaa génnee forcefully dafaa génnee IEC chairman bi ñetteel bi mooy mun naa nekk sax chief justice bi mun naa nekk sax human rights commission seen chairperson bi wala speaker of the national assembly all these institutions maanaam kaaraange yëpp office leen yoo xamante ne they are oversight institutions maanaam président mi amul doole pour génnee leen directly waaye comme que def na ko auditor général mu saf ko te kenn defu si dara there is a high likelihood maanaam am na fit bi ak sañ-sañ bi pour dem toppaat ñële pour génnee leen te su ko defee dafaa jàlla parce que bii su jàllee rek na leen leer ne beneen di leen jàlla loolu mooy suñ taxawaay teel moo tax ñun tey ñu toog fii pour wane suñ naxar ne président mi nu mu def àndut ak yoon te ñu ngi ko wax ne ñun civil society ñu ngi koo bàyyi xel te ñu ngi seetaan te duñ bàyyi yëf yu mel nii muy continuer si biir réew mi su ko defee dañoo génn a wax te suñu jaralee dinañ dem koot parce que loolu la loi bi tëral jërë ngeen jëf.
Jërëjëf Fanta, thank you so much. Just stay seated. And very soon we are now going to open up the question and answer session. But we also want to highlight that this brutality from the police is not only limited to activists or advocates. Even journalists like you, we saw how some of you even sat here, were being chased by the police. Now this highlights the Gambia problem which we have. How many years since 2016 we've been promised change? There have been numerous commissions, independent bodies. This is similar independent bodies. Millions have been spent on this work of these bodies. Guess what? These bodies, like the TRRC, have highlighted how the PRU, Police Intervention Unit, and I'll call them out, have been harassing, abusing, brutalizing citizens, activists, journalists. We've seen it. And until now, crowd control is not moving an inch. Over billions have been spent on security sector reform and the transitional justice process. But what have we from this? So we stand together. Just to reiterate, Edward Francis Small, 13 organizations have signed this to show you our commitment. Edward Francis Small, Center for Rights and Justice, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency, the National Youth Parliament, Activista da Gambia, Team Gomsabopa, Solo Sandeng Foundation, Women's Association for Women and Victims Empowerment, Bekanyang, Fantanka, Movement for Social Justice, Think Young Women, Music for Change, Charter 70. We thank you, and I'm sure we will start taking questions from you guys, so you can direct whoever you want. I'm seeing somebody there as well. Okay, I'm seeing another person. You will direct your question. So we will take these two questions, and then that if you can kindly direct it to anybody, or if you want anybody to answer it, just go ahead.
I think I'll just put the question forward so everyone
Okay. 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 Your name and media house, just not for me, I know you.
Okay, my name is Auditor. I work for the Cartoon Network.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, going by your demands, I just wanted to ask, I have 3 questions that I want to ask. I don't know if time will come. The first question is,
Can you just come slightly, just a little bit closer, so that the microphones that are here will be able, you don't have to come here, but just come a little bit closer. I just want to help you guys, so that the microphone will be able to pick it up easier. But please, go ahead.
So now, my first question would be the concrete steps that this coalition is prepared to take if the government actually fails to reinstate the Auditor General. That's my first question.
Okay.
And my other question would be, how does these coalitions intend to engage citizens and stakeholders to strengthen public support for the demands that you've made.
Okay.
And the last but not the least question would be, how does the coalition plan to hold the police accountable for their role in the forceful removal of the Auditor General, and also the brutality that they've been meting on the young people anytime they come out to show their constitutional rights?
Thank you. That's 3 good questions. I hope my guys, make sure we decide who is taking which. 1, 2, 3. So you can take number 2, or which one do you want to take?
I mean, we can answer any of them. Anyone
fine.
can add on to
Okay.
the question.
We had another person here. Do you want to answer those questions first,
I
right?
think it's better.
Yeah?
We can
Since
answer
they are-
first and then move on
Yes,
to
since
the
there are
next.
3 questions, let's not lose sight. Let's answer them and then we'll take it.
Probably once we answer,
Yes.
the question you may want to ask will have
Might be,
will have
yes,
been
you never know.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
So, do you want to take the center seat? Or is okay? Let him, okay, no. My people are, I know my guys.
So actually, as a group,
Yes.
what we have talked about in terms of concrete steps is public litigation. It's one thing that has come up. Public litigation is one of the concrete steps that we intend to take should this unlawful act continue. That's one. The other thing is how, if the question is wrong, please, you can repeat it. How we intend to engage citizens and stakeholders
Public support.
for public support.
Yes.
We are already doing that, actually. We are already engaging citizens. We are engaging stakeholders. So government stakeholders, we do intend to engage them. After the press conference, like I said, should the unlawful act continue, we as civil society organizations will probably take representatives and go meet respective government stakeholders. Talk with them. I mean, this is our country. It is the government's country as much as it is the citizens' country. So dialogue first, we talk, and then we come to an understanding. If we do not come to an understanding, then we can proceed to public litigation. Now, that is support from the government. That's also a stakeholder. Now, support from the citizens, as I have already mentioned, we are doing that. If you check our social media pages, we keep talking about things that pertain to the citizens of this country, that the citizens of this country must be interested in. Believe me, every single organization you see here, almost every now and then, publishes something on their social media handles or websites that are of high importance, that are of great significance to the Gambian people. We are engaging. The support we need from you is that you engage back. Please be interested. Your lives depend on this. The lives of your children, I mean it when I say this. With every bone in my body, I mean it when I say this. The lives of the Gambian people depend on you, the Gambian people, showing interest in legal affairs, how they are run by the government. Let us be interested. Please show support by being interested in the work that we do. Engage us. If you do not understand, engage us. It is only by working together, the citizens, civil society organizations, and even the government, it is only by working together that we can move this country forward in a harmonious manner, might I say.
Now, so before you move forward, from the explanations, it seems your public support is basically on the literate people, because looking at the fact that you are using your social media. Now, I'm looking at grassroots, like those in the grassroots, those who cannot read and write. How do you engage? Because these are some of them are parents. And, you know,
yeah, I'll let Ansu take that, because their organization especially is almost always with the grassroots. So I'll let him take that.
Yes. So
Just-
no, it's fine. I think I'll
Okay.
Yes, please.
The camera is the reason. Sorry, let's just, give the camera the, and then I will take the police, issue when you are done.
All right. So, Aliu, thank you very much for for proving innocent. What we want people to understand is that we have 13 different organizations as part of the signatories to this particular document here. And we have different strengths. We have organizations here whose strength lies in putting up press statements and sharing them on almost every day on issues that happen in this country. We have organizations that are also good at social media campaigns, but also we have organizations that have grassroots structures, and they are almost every day out in the field. As I speak to you, Activista and a few more organizations are already having a caravan on climate issues. We have a project that works on issues around civic engagements and how young people can be included in civic space matters. So our mode of operations is not only focused on targeting the literates. We reach out to almost every corner and every person in this country using the radios and also using community engagements to ensure that people understand what is happening in the Gambia. And our current project is on issues around the shrinking civic space. So we have a lot of work around that end as well. So it's not just focused on the elect and also on the social media as well. Yeah.
So the third question is...
Yes, the police. I will answer that one. Am I okay here where I am, or do you want me to swap? Must swap? Yeah? They want me to swap. My people. Okay. I cannot get everybody to swap, and me I don't. So I must comply. Okay. Thank you very much for that very important question. Like he said, 13 different organizations are here. Gumsa Bopa, and I will also add, amongst this group are groups who are ready to protest. That's also another mechanism. Obviously, like a coalition, we have to act together, but we have different capacities. Amongst this group, Gumsa Bopa, I'm the spokesperson. For example, we were the victims of police brutality of late. Some of our members have gone through it. We took our complaints to the NHRC. This is not the first time. We have been struggling with police brutality, and we have been trying our best to address them. The first time where we had something concrete come out of it was the issue of Gorgui Mbub, God bless his soul. But unfortunately, we all know what happened when he assaulted a young man in his custody. And when I myself and my colleagues, we started pressuring, forcing the NHRC, bringing complaints, there was something that happened. He got reassigned, even though we were not happy with it, because we felt that why send him all the way to somewhere, Farafeni or Basse or wherever, and you don't away from here. Are you saying that he was better than there? But that was not the only one. Chipai, a rapper, who was assaulted by some few police officers. They jumped on him. Myself again, and my colleagues, Gumsa Bopa, we took the matter to the NHRC. And what we've done again, if you see, the last time when we were brutalized, we went twice to the NHRC to report police brutality to them. And like my colleague said, we also consider legal action. There is a Prohibition and Prevention of Torture Act. We encourage citizens, anybody who has been brutalized by the police, reach out to us, Gumsa Bopa. We will take you, hold your hand and take you to the NHRC and make sure that there is complaints. Let them hold them to justice. It's not going to happen by us just going on social media and complaining that somebody brutalized us or this human police brutality. Journalists, go to the Gambia Press Union, because the police brutality is not only for us as citizens. So the two things that we have done and will continue to do. Yes, go on, please.
Are there any plans for you to also engage the police senior management teams? Because some of the time it's people who met it are junior officers.
Yes.
So are there any plans for you to meet them to also chart a way forward, to ending some of these brutalities around?
One of our colleagues, they do work with the police. The transitional justice process. We urge the government to play their part, but we also as civil society, we are playing our part. And it touches exactly this. One of them is here. She will be able to speak for herself. Come, let's take my place, please. And let him explain. Enough questions, right? You have to give your colleagues. You're adding additional questions. Wait, let's get the media and then You that start up as you can ask later.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mariam JCC, and I work with Women Association for Women and Victims Empowerment. So to add on to what my colleague was saying in terms of the Anti-Torture Act, because WAVE is working specific on that area, and just a few months ago, in June, we had training of different police from PIUs, from different area in the Greater Banjul area. And we are also trying to extend this project, especially with the current happenings. And when we are talking about the transitional justice process, we cannot talk about really achieving the never again with all of these things happening. It's as if we're still going back to the same 22 years of where we actually struggled to come out from. So we're actually having series of engagements, series of trainings specifically for the police and other security sector officer, and that is also really working together with the IGP, which is actually the head of the institution, and that is some of the engagement that we are actually looking at. But to also to add on with the current happening, a lot has happened, and separation of power is one of the key things we have to fight for. Who is holding whom to account? We all have a voice. The citizens, we always say, are the watchdog of the government. And if we sit down on this issue and not say anything about it, it's going to happen, because that is how we started during Jammeh era. So we are not going to just sit down and fold our hands to just allow these things to continue to happen, when till now, those victims of the past regime are still living without reparation, without accountability, without justice. And this same happening is still happening till date. And part of this 13 civil society organization, as has been said, we all have our strengths, we all have our stronghold. Some have active strength when it comes to working with youth, some have strength when you're working with women on different areas and different capacities. And we are really engaging grassroots and not just leaving it to the Greater Banjul area through various platforms like radio programs, TV talk shows, and also making sure that it doesn't just end at the media level, but strategic engagement with key stakeholders who have active role to play to influence some of this decision making. And I hope that kind of answers your questions.
Okay, I had a question. Can you just come a little bit closer, my dear, just so that the mic will pick you up? Just, you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to be on camera.
Yeah, my question is more or less.
Then just lift your voice.
But I will just ask this question.
Okay.
I am SFCC working with the point in space. My question will be directed to Lamdipa. So beyond issuing statements, how does the coalition plan to mobilize young people to safeguard democracy and resist and what you describe as a growing threat to rule of law? That's my first question.
Okay.
You want to answer that?
Can I?
Lamin, no, that's directed
It's for Lamin, but Asmana wants to come.
There's no running away from that one.
Because when I see the flyer, you state that a threat to rule of law. So I want to know how to mobilize young people to resist.
Yeah, so quickly I will step in for him. I will excuse us for that. So I was talking to him. There is a plan for what we call the National Youth Convergence. During the impasse and even before the impasse, Activista used to work with its affiliates then at the time to do this called the National Convergence on the State of the Nation. So there is a plan to bring it back again. The last time we did it was during the impasse. We were gathered at GPI when things were really, really tough. We invited government officials, and the then late youth minister came on behalf of the government of the Gambia, and Honorable Khalifa Salah came on behalf of the coalition. So we did series of engagements with different key stakeholders. I think after that we did it once, I think in 2020, and since then we've missed doing it. So what we do is to mobilize people from all over the country. At least youths are mobilized from every region in the Gambia, gathered at one place to work on a position paper that is submitted to different government stakeholders. So we invite people from the IEC, since we are very much close to the elections and we don't even know what lies ahead of us. We will invite the IGP if he's going to answer to our call, so that he can have direct interactions with the organizations that are seated here, including other movements as well. We will also invite people from Probably we can even invite the president. If he's not able to come, he might send a representative to come and have dialogues with these groups. So these are some of the things that are currently in the pipeline, and hopefully, if things goes as planned, we will definitely have this in under a month. Yeah.
Put in place.
Oh yes. We have
Also add on, sorry, let me just add on, because he actually spoke on some of the things in pipeline. To also make it clear that these are some things that have planned to happen, but ongoing, there are so many initiatives at regional level, at local level, that are actually strategic to actually engage youth, to really understand what the national development, how they can play active role when it comes to the overall transitional justice process of the Gambia, how they can contribute to non-occurrences at different local level. So if this is looking at the national level, at local level, a lot of engagement is already going on by different civil society organizations that really engages you to become active agents of change in the country.
Thank you. We have another question here. Go on.
Thank you very much.
You can direct it to whoever you feel like.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
Yeah. I am Abdullah Dama from West Africa. Considering the role of an Auditor General in financial regulation in public service, I want to know whether the group will be ready or willing to reach out to international partners like World Bank, IMF, and EU, because most of these government reform agendas, or most of their activities are funded by these people, and it is the Auditor General or the Audit Office who tell them how the funds are spent. So I would like to know if the group will be willing to reach out to those people to pressure the government to reinstate the Auditor General, which is key or the demand.
Yes.
Sorry. This is
Absolutely.
In fact,
Absolutely. In fact, you know, this is not, it's not even whether we are going to do it or not. It is, we must do it. We must do it. Because the reason we must do this is because, and of course, the international community is a major stakeholder as far as the Gambia is concerned. Especially when it comes to the affairs of the government, when it comes to the civil society organizations. So to answer your question in short and elaborate a bit more, yes, we will reach out to international communities. We will definitely do this. I'm sure they are aware of it, but we'll reach out to them as a collective group to make our discontent in regard to this issue to them so that they can join us in this fight. Now, the reason international communities are important and the reason they hold power is because even when you look at our national budget, now please guys listen to this very carefully. When you look at our national budget, the international communities, foreign governments play a huge role in funding our national budget. But here is the thing, there is a chance that the government may not listen to the international community. If they are wise, they would listen to the international community, and I'm sure the international community will side with the Auditor General. But there is a chance they may not side or they may not listen to the international community because the international community funds majorly our development budget, as opposed to the budget that is for government officials and their expenditures. So the government officials and their expenditures depend mainly on our tax revenue to fund themselves. Their travels, their salaries, their allowances, they depend on our tax revenue. And they leave our development budget to international community, foreign governments. If the money comes, so be it. If it doesn't come, we are doomed. And even when the money comes, sometimes they will not reveal it to us.
That's the problem.
So this is the thing. Why I'm saying they may not listen, because our development, but it is our development budget as far as funding, financing is concerned. Others may talk on other aspects, but as far as financing of our country's initiatives is concerned, it is our development budget that matters to the citizens more than the recurrent budget. But our development budget doesn't matter much to our government. I don't think it does. If it did, it would be developed by now. So since our development budget is financed by the international community and the government doesn't care about it, they may not listen to the international community. But if they are wise, they will listen to the international community.
So you are advising the government to listen to them?
The government, yes, I am advising the government to listen to the international community. In fact, I am advising the government directly, not indirectly, to reinstate the Auditor General. Simple as that. lawfully reinstate him to follow the laws of our country. Simple as that.
Yeah.
The Constitution, the National Audit Office Act. That's the main advice I am giving to the government. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, just to let you know, we do have other organizations, international organizations who are outside the Gambia. You know, they are also following what's happening in Gambia. We're informing them because they are our partners. I don't need to call all their names, but we do have them, and they are, you know, you see them whenever something happens. You will see African Rising, you see Yanamar, you see these organizations. They actually write about what is happening. Wadamos, thank you. Afriki, there's a list. I know if I start, I will miss some, and I don't want to miss some. That's why I didn't want to. But just so you know, to add weight to your question, when we say international partners, let's not also just focus on the donors. Our African international partners are also have a huge impact as well. So was there any other question? Anybody has any questions? Is that it? Journalists don't have any more questions? There's, okay, one, and then two, you guys can come after. Okay, can you come just a little bit closer? So, yeah, the mic, it's just for the mic. You just come a little bit closer. You don't have to show on the screen if you don't want to. It's okay. I just want so your question will translate into the mic a little bit so that the people.
All right.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
My name is Mustafa Jai. I'm a freelance journalist. With regards to the security concerns during protests and all that, we have been talking about police. But like, I feel like the army also is a threat now, considering the presence of the military armor at the prison. And also during the court hearing, the last court hearing, immediately after the class, there was a visibility of the military vehicle around Westfield area and all that. So I feel like these are all things that they too, at any moment, can step into some of these things. So what light, or maybe what step or advice did the group have for the Gambia Armed Forces? But away from that, I will slate to come, but I would also want to know, like, if there are any formalities, maybe writing some of these demands to the government. Because, like, generally, talking about the government is too broad. Who is going to take that responsibility to take upon themselves? We have the Ministry of Interior, we have the IGPs, the IDs office and all that. But, like, what approach are you taking in ensuring that these demands are met?
So he will take the second question with regards to who is it being directed to and the steps we'll take. And then I will take the first one when it comes to the security sector reform and the presence of the military at times. Can you, Lamin Diba, if you can just answer the second one question which he was asking.
You mean right now the key government institution that we have considered so far is the courts, the High Court. Oh, okay. Yeah. As far as in terms of our demands, who they are directed to, obviously, when you look at the press statement, it's already clear there that we are talking to the President of the Republic. So, if we will write definitely to the government, to the office of the President, specifically to the office of the President, so that he will see our demands and act upon them. But aside from that, the other government institution that we will reach out to. You remember when I was answering a question, I talked about stakeholder engagement, reaching out to the government, talking with them, making sure that we resolve this issue without any fight between the civil society and the government. Obviously, the State House is involved, the police, the Gambia Police Force is involved, the National Assembly is involved because they are the lawmakers. The National Audit Office, in fact, should come to the table. So these people, these respective people, we would like to bring together, have discussions with them, find a way out. That's one thing. Our statement will be sent to the President's office. The other thing, last resort, public litigation. Obviously, we will go to the courts for that. Hopefully, we will not reach that. But if we must, we will. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, and let me answer the second question. We just swapped. Let me get the first question, sorry. And just before I get to your question, I just wanted to highlight that most of us here, as for me in particular, I don't know Modu Sise. This is not because we believe Modu Sise is some special savior. No. But whoever is the Auditor General is brought into that place according to the law, and they can only be removed in line with the laws. And the person who got in there, who we recognize officially as the Auditor General, according to us, right, is Modu Sise. Not because of his anything special, but because of that's the role that he has gone through due process to be given that role. And due process can only be used to remove him from that role. To answer your question with regards to the Gambia Armed Forces, yes, as you know, they say the Gambia is, what, 5th most peaceful country, right? Or 4th? Yes, we're doing very well, but we still have an invading force in the Gambia, who we, of course, invited, right? Which is ECOMIC, yes? You see, and they're still here. And every now and then, even if you look at those army people that you're talking about, you will see they're wearing different badges of different countries. And that is what we have here in this country. Now, does it really look like, according to what you see, does it really look like we really need all that military presence? This is a sign that our security sector reform has not worked, or it's not being successful. Because no matter what, even if it's not all of the ECOMIC should leave, by now most of them should have been phased out. And their presence, you will not be asking me a question as a journalist, because that's what you observed, right? We don't feel like we want to stay in a police state or a military state. Being 4th most peaceful country in Africa should be seen, visibility. We should have that feeling, right? And not just the army, also the police, the brutality which we are feeling. So I know these are issues which we are seeing, but what we are saying is pretty much the same thing. The change that has been promised Gambians, one of them is security sector reform. Because to secure the current president and bring him in place, ECOMIC had to come in. And until now, they are still here. How many years on? All right, so I think it's very, very clear that a lot needs to happen, right? So, but we are reminding this government to go back to the drawing board, to implement the recommendations, the SSR, the transitional justice, the CRC, all of those monies that have been spent. And this is why some of these things are not showing. I think, so you journalists don't have any more questions, so we have 2 questions. Killer Ace, I think, is it a statement or a question? Do you want to comment? It's a question, go ahead.
Yeah, so
yes, and then yeah.
Yeah, so basically morning or afternoon everybody.
Yes.
My question is more on the unity of different civil society and actors coming together, which is a good look and has been lacking in Gambia, which is the collaborative effort, you know, of people who do similar things in different areas and have different have the same agenda. So do we look forward to seeing this being a continual thing, or is it just a reactionary group, you know, for a particular moment? Because the beauty of even the flyer having different logos, right, irrespective of what your organization is or what you do, that's beautiful look. And as somebody who is an advocate myself and also is a part of Gumsobaba, it's something that we should be encouraged. So is this a one-time thing, or do we look forward to seeing something like a bigger coalition?
Okay. Yeah. Given that, wait, don't go. Okay. Given that you are one of the partners or the president of one of the groups on those logos, can you say your commitment, and then we can extract what's your commitment to keeping this going?
I have to answer my own question.
Yes, no, but and then yes, and then he will come. What's your commitment? What's your commitment?
So initially, I was not even answering as president of Gumsobaba. As
yes,
a normal advocate who love to see the unity, you know. But as Gumsobaba, this is something that we've definitely tried over the years.
Okay.
It wasn't the best. Like one of the most recent, or not recent, but 5-6 years ago, the Dafadoy protest at Westfield, we tried to incorporate different civil society, let do the press statement, let others handle the logistics. Even though when things really got hot, a lot of people backed down, right, and it didn't go as planned, but there were efforts. With the April 10/11 victim commemoration about 2 years ago, I remember you specifically coordinated all victim-oriented organizations under one umbrella, and we collaborated in doing that April 10/11 victim during Ramadan, I believe, a couple of years ago. So there has been that history of like when activities happen, we do tend to collaborate. But I'm looking more of a union, a confederation, level that is more consistent than not just activity-based.
Okay, I think you speak for me. So now I'll allow somebody. We are all part of it.
But I hope it's clear.
So I'll let Lami just switch over.
So I think of course as a head of an institution as well, I think I can vouch for my organization, Center for Budget and Macroeconomic Transparency, that we will always look for ways to form a union. We'll always want to be part of this confederation that Mr. Cham has mentioned. We are open to collaborating with all civil society organizations at all times on matters that are relevant to the Gambia, that are especially relevant to our domain. And our work, as Mariam can attest to it, has always been centered on that, to making sure that we collaborate with civil society organizations. We work on the budget and the economy, majorly. Last year, we wanted to form a consortium with other civil society organizations to assess the budget when it came out, to make sure that we assess it thoroughly and make our complaints known to the National Assembly so that when they are passing the budget, they consider our recommendations. We worked towards that last year, and this year also we are planning on doing the same thing. And this group, the idea of this group actually came out of an existing group already. And if it weren't for that group existing in the past, probably this may not have happened. So I can speak for my organization. I can also speak for NYP and also WAVE and also Activista. No, I haven't forgotten. Activista and even Askanwi and also Team Gomsabopo. I can speak for all of them that are here and others that are here as well. I can speak for a lot of them that they are always open to collaboration. One thing that I would say is that for us to maintain, as he has mentioned, for us to maintain this confederation, this union, we must not base it on money. That if funds are not available, we cannot do it. If funds are not available, we cannot do it. This has been the mantra of most organizations for obvious reasons, justified reasons, obviously. But we must not base the union on money. If we do, it may not hold. So what I would say is let's depend on our Gambianness, let's depend on our patriotism, and let's depend on the fact that the Gambia can only move forward through unity. If we have these in mind, I think any confederation we form will hold and will make an impact.
Thank you. I think we have the last stated question. Please just come a little bit closer so that the mics pick you up. If you don't want to show, you don't have to, but just come follow the mic to pick it up. Somebody?
Good afternoon. I have more of a statement, but blends into questions as well. The last press conference I attended, I saw a coalition. That is Gala, Edward Francis Small, and Gumsaboba.
Yes.
And today, Gala is upset. You see, we have to be consistent on fighting corruption. And we have to understand we're not looking for the media hype or the money, like you mentioned. And I want to remind you too that litigation is important, but we are living with a government that does not respect the rule of law. But at some point, going out to the streets is the only answer, is the only question they can answer. It's the only time they can take people seriously. What I want to urge all of you to do is to keep up the pace and consistency. I don't know why Gala is upset, because they have the hype, all right? And we need that too. We need the people's support. And Gala at some point has the influence, and Gomsabok too. Most of these societies that are here, I'm just hearing them now, all right? I know I'm not media consistent, but then at some point, I'm just getting them now, nevertheless. But what I know is we have to be consistent in fighting corruption. And we don't need different civil societies organizing protests, because you are exhausting the same people. For people like me, I don't hold back when it's protests. I just come out all the time. But it causes fatigue. All right? Gala calls out, we go. Gomsabo calls out, we go. And these are the same people in the country. We don't need that. All we need is the corrupt government to be straightened. Simple as that. And there are people that are granted bail. I'm one of them, 23. And 4 of the people that are arrested are granted bail. It's a sign of silencing people. And at some point, I don't think litigation will save us in this. What will only save these people is we come together, do proper sensitization, be strategic, and come up with full force. We have to hit districts so as to the government to drop these charges. I don't think they've answered to Gala petition, called this conference at the conference center, tried to negotiate or whatever, but then you still hold us in chains. So it's not going to help anybody. All we need is consistent. I will call on to Gala, if it is important, if it's worth the trouble, let them come and join the coalition. We need everybody in the house. We need everybody together, and let us fight this corruption together. That is the only way we can fight the government. I had seen many recent posts of NPP. This is what they want. Youths among themselves, tearing upon themselves, like this one fighting this one attacking. We don't need this. We have a government in place that is disturbing all our lives. Just come together. This is no time to divide. This is no time to be in fracas. We just need together. We just need the unity right now. This is the most time we need it. The only time we can fight it is now. It is now more than ever. It is only you, the coalition, and the people that are following that can solve this problem. So let us just put our differences aside and understand what we have at stake is corruption and the abuse of rule of law. And this is the only thing I would add.
Yeah, I wanted to add on that because you mentioned something that is very important. You know?
Sorry, by the way, he's one of those that was taken to Mile 2 amongst
yeah,
the 23.
I recognize his face.
So,
the reason I do is because I'm also more like part of Gala actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there are
All
Galas
together.
here. We are representing organizations, but we are all Galas. You know, if you look at it, I can attest for Yusuf, I can attest for Ansumana. You know, we've been part of the protest. But the reason, there are some organizations that are doing great work here. I don't need to mention their names that are not part of this group. It doesn't mean that they've been excluded. Like I said before, this group, this consortium, you know, sometimes these things happen out of urgency. You know a group, and then you go to that group, you talk with them. So anybody who is part of that group becomes the person that will be included in the fight. And all others will not be included, not because they are excluded, but because you resorted to that group. And that group only consists of the people that are there. So I said earlier on that, you know, this consortium was born out of an already existing consortium called the Working Group on Transparency and Accountability. Yeah. So, and in that group, some prominent organizations are not there. That is why it was limited to that. But we would definitely, you are absolutely right. As I keep mentioning, unity, unity, unity. You are absolutely right. We are Gala. And we will love to work with Gala, and not only Gala, all other civil society organizations, and all other civic actors, all other organizations, we love to work with them because the thing is, it is a fight against corruption, it is a fight against unconstitutionalism, it is a fight against unlawful behavior. And I think every citizen, every organization, every institution must be behind that, right? Yes, absolutely.
So, I just wanted to add, sorry, so let me just wrap this up. I just wanted to add that you're absolutely right. You know, our rights are non-negotiable, honestly speaking, and our division is strength for the government, and that is not something we want to see. So that is why we're trying as much as possible to ensure that this becomes something that every civil society, even Gala, is part of. And like you just said, we are default members of Gala, by the way. Also to you know, state that. Sometimes it's good in advocacy to exhaust all the measures you have. So going to court is one of them. The reason is you do not also want to, you know, fall, you know, victim. The government will say, okay, you do not exhaust your remedies, the remedies you have, or you did not engage so and so stakeholders. So it's important to go to court because you want to exhaust all the remedies you have at your disposal as civil society when you're doing advocacy. Yeah. So going to the court is one way because if you get, you know, a court order or court, you know, judgment, at least it's safe to say that you've exhausted all your remedies. So if you go out on the streets to protest, that means you have a valid reason, a valid cause, because you've exhausted all the avenues you have so far to protest. So also, I think timing and strategy, being strategic in civil society or in advocacy is really important. So that is why we are taking all these necessary steps. But definitely going out to the streets is something, it's seemingly the language government seems to hear. So obviously, yeah. But we're just trying to exhaust all the avenues we have.
Time is
so reflect. Let me add. I just want to inform him that Gala is a movement. It has a leadership, and the membership is not just limited to the leadership. you have people from other organizations that are registered with both the AG Chambers and the National Youth Council, whose members are part of Gala as a movement. You remember when the protest was happening here, there was a protest in Sierra. I don't know whether you saw that.
Yeah.
I was the one in front. Maybe you didn't recognize me. When the protest happened here in Westfield, the bigger one, I was there too, and my members from my organization were also there. So Gala is a movement. It's not registered. It's a movement. I think you understand. If you understand the concept around movements, that is how they are built. So they have memberships from other organized organizations that are registered. So that is how we operate. But this group that is here, we have members of Gala. We have members that are affiliated, or let me say they are subscribed to Gala's idea and they also join their activities. But they belong to activists, that they belong to CVMT, they belong to Team Kamsa Bopa, they belong to WAVE, they belong to NYP. So this is how we operate, you know. But we are all the same people, and we are all fighting for a common cause. What we just don't want and we are not accepting is to go back to what happened in 2016. And we are very committed to that.
Time is, we have very little time.
No, yes, so it's just a confirmation.
Okay.
Like, he made mention of some certain, organizations that are doing great, but they are not part of this coalition. Have you sent any invitation to them, for them to come and, join you people? And regarding Gala, just like you explained, Gala is a movement. Like if you look at other movements in other African countries, I don't think Gala even needs to be registered. Anyone who is against looted assets or corruption should be part of it. Even us journalists are all Gala members because, except for joining the
Okay. I think we get your question. Okay.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. We are.
So that's the question. Whether invitation. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Hello. One house. We want to conclude. Hello. Yeah, no, the noise. I'm talking about the noise.
No, I know Gala as a movement. Okay. I understand the concept of movements. Yeah. I myself am part of Gala too. I know that. Yeah. That's aside.
The fact that they're not
representatives, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. We need representatives on the ground. This is what people follow.
Yeah, but
he's here.
Yeah. No.
You are okay. Go ahead.
Yes. So wait.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, the presence of the representatives of Gala, executive of Gala.
Yes.
That's my concern.
Yes.
That's the language we understand. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. So just
movements, I understand everything about movements.
Yes.
I go out myself, I'm constantly, right? And my people are there too. What I'm saying is Gala as an executive, the representatives themselves. We need them. Okay. All right?
Yes.
We're part of this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So just hold on. To kill two birds with one stone, the gentleman asked about invitation.
The same question, yeah.
Did we send an invitation to Gala? If not, can we explain that and confirm that would be done? So no, I know. Just hold on, please. Wait.
No. His question is still. Don't worry.
His question is very. He said organizations, but I know what I'm saying. So just try to also use that to answer the gentleman's question.
Yeah, I already. Regarding your question, it is very valid, actually, because we've been talking about unity, and then obviously this question makes, the fact that we've talked about unity makes this question very important and relevant. Yes, we've reached out to other organizations. Have we reached out to all civil society organizations? No. But we've reached out to other organizations that are not part of the consortium. And it wasn't because they didn't want to be part of the consortium, because sometimes you have commitments. At the time that this happened, they had other commitments, and equally important as what we are doing right now here. So I won't say we reach out to them, they refuse or anything, but we reach out to other organizations. And then now, this thing, that what is important is how do we move forward? Because what you guys have raised here are not only questions, but important points that we must take note of. How do we move forward from here? That is, how do we collaborate from here? You've mentioned Gala. What should we do? What should we take from this? We've answered your questions, of course, but the moral lesson we should take from this is we should reach out to Gala.
Have we?
We should from here, going forward. We did not reach out to Gala, by the way. We did not. Like I said before, this consortium was born out of the Transparency and Accountability Group that already exists. And that existed before Gala came into place. So you understand?
Okay.
So that is why some of the organizations, I've already answered this, some of the organizations are not part. But from now onwards, we'll reach out to Gala, we should reach out to Gala, we'll reach out to other civil society organizations, we should reach out to them to make sure that we enlarge, we expand the consortium. It's not fixed, it can be expanded. And other organizations can
No, sorry, I'm sorry. Hold on, guys. Can I, yes, just hold on, you will come. Just allow me to check. Yes, hold on. If I'm going to be the one to allow you to come, you know I will not deny you. So now, but just hold on. Because of everybody wants to say what they want to say. I'm going to do this. He was the one who came first, right? And then you also have something to say, right? And then you have something to say. The same thing to say. Wait, can you agree? Who is going to say?
I have double, I'll give him my one.
No, but you know, you say your one, he say his one, and then you say his one.
Yeah, I know.
So what? I want us to do it.
Let him start the night.
Yes.
Go on, please.
Okay,
Time is going. People
Yeah,
are
he
leaving.
has a comment.
Then we are withdrawing
Yeah.
the statement that London made. We are not part of any organization. We are independent journalists. We are not part of that. We are not part of any other thing. As a journalist, we are doing our job.
Okay.
We withdraw the statement from what London said. Maybe London himself can be a Gala before. We are not part of that.
No, that's fine. Okay, what is that all you have? So what do you have to say?
So I just want
We're finishing. Please, let's have one house. Please.
Esther.
I just wanted to share a comment here, a quick one. I know we're running out of time. There's one thing that I want all of us to have in mind, even those that are not in this building. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We need to have that in mind. We've come from a time where some of us will not be able to have the guts to stand up and speak up. We are able to do this because all of us together came and have a common front to be able to fight what we have today. And I believe we don't want to go back to the same thing. That's why we are talking every now and then to ensure that injustice is happening, but does not continue, so that we'll be able to support and enable impunity. This is something that I want us to have in mind. Whether it's Gala or not, we all have our strengths in different capacities. We have a group that is very good in mobilizing, when we have groups that are good at organizing. Together we'll be able to complement each other's efforts to be able to have a strong force and attain what we want. Whether Gala is present or not, our works are all geared towards one thing, and that is to fight against corruption and also to stop adding on the list and numbers of victims of this country.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Can
we not turn this into a conference? So we cannot turn it into a summit or something.
Yeah, no.